So this is the second/third tutorial on my YouTube channel on using Excel, and today I've decided to combine using two different tools into one tutorial because I feel like it's quite cool to do one, and the other one's kind of a necessity, especially with large data sets like what we're working with. This is a pretty big sheet, right? So following on from last tutorial, if you haven't watched it, I've put it in the iCard column or iCard area where you can just click onto that to watch the previous video on where we found the mean using two different methods. The first method was using the average command, and the second method was using the data analysis descriptive statistics input, add in, whatever you call it, right? Okay, anyways, so today I've decided we're going to be learning how to use the filter tool, and also highlighting cells with certain conditions, right? So you can visually see it much more clearly instead of having to look at the numbers and being like, right, what do we want, right? So to start off, we're just going to create a new sheet. So we're going to be using exact same data, but using the filter tool will be messing around with this because it'll disappear, reappear, and stuff like that. So just to be clear, we'll create a new sheet, copy and paste it again, zoom in. If you don't know how to zoom in, just go to the bottom right, click plus or minus, right? So put it at 130%, and then we'll just name this sheet tutorial, if I can spell. Once again, I can't spell, tutorial 2. Okay, so to start off, we're going to be using the filter tool. So there are two ways of filtering in Excel. There's one method which is more effective than the other, but both get the job done. So we'll start off with the less effective method first. So what you're going to want to do is click on the column, the entire column, and suppose that we want to get rid of everything that has IA in it. What we're going to want to do is press Control H on our keyboards. This is both for Windows and Mac, so you press Control H, and I've already put it here. You should start on the replace instead of find. You should go on the replace. I mean, find is just finding everything and you get all of this, so it's not very useful for our filter tool. So what we're going to want to do is go to replace. I'll just do that again. So click on the entire column, press Control H, and then it should come up with replace, and then type in what you want to get rid of basically, and then replace if you want to put something else like 9, 10, I don't know. Put that there, but if not, replace with blank so it leaves as blank, and then click replace all. So there should be a notification saying alert, all finished. We made 152. This number will be different depending on how many things that Excel need to replace. All you have to do is click OK, and then we can just close that out. And as you can see, everything that had IA is now left with a blank. So that's one way of filtering. It's not very practical. It gets the job done. You can slowly then just delete like things here that you can see it's blank, so just delete it there and stuff like that. But that's not the most effective way of filtering. So as you can probably see already over where my cursor is over here, there's a filter tool. What we're going to want to do to use this tool, which is the obviously more effective way of filtering in Excel, is highlight both columns. So what I did was click on A, I held my mouse button, left click, and then dragged it along, and then released left click, right? And then click filter. So you're not gonna really see anything happen here. No magic's gonna happen. All you're gonna get are these two buttons. So what you're gonna want to do is just highlight. It doesn't really matter, you don't have to highlight, but I'll highlight. Click on the button, and then you'll face this UI. I don't know what I was trying to say there. You'll face this UI. So these are all the things in the A column. So you have your asterisk, CA, GA. These are just states, right? So let's say we want to filter down so that we only see MN, right? So we can have all these conditions. I usually just stick with choose one. You can turn off select all or turn it on if you want to get everything back again, just as a quick method. But let's say we want MN, so to be only present. So what we're going to want to do is just basically unhighlight everything except MN. We'll just keep it ticked, so you can just unclick everything until only MN is present. Now what this does is only has MN present inside, so we can close this. Only has MN present inside our datasheet. So you can see on the side over here the numbers by the by like all the rows. They've changed, so you can only see MN, which is why they're highlighted blue, because it's like 1, 2, 48, 65, because it's basically got rid of the other types in that column that doesn't say MN and only shows the MN. So they're still there, but you just can't see them on your screen because it's been filtered off, right? So once you've done that, that's all the filter tool does. And it's so much more practical, because at the end of the day, if you then want to change, let's say you want to analyze something else, all you got to do is unclick the filter and it'll reset it. Or you could just click the filter again, and then let's just unselect everything. And then let's say we want, I don't know, instead of just analyzing MN, we want IA and IL. We can click those, or if you just want, I don't know, GA, you can then change it, and all it'll show is GA. And if you want everything back again, you just click select all, and there you go. But let's say we just want to analyze MN right now, and we want to find the total revenues which are more than a certain value, right? So we'll just state our condition over here. I'll just state it really quickly. Just put condition, highlight green if total revenue is more than what, let's say 10,000, right? And then condition 2, highlight red if total revenue is less than 10,000. Okay, so we have our two conditions here. In order to show the revenues that are more than 10,000 and the ones that are less than 10,000, all we got to do is highlight the entire cell, right, like this, and then you go to home, you go to conditional formatting, and then you go to highlight cells rule. This is where all the magic happens, right? So this is the second part of the tutorial, if you haven't noticed, because this is the second part of conditioning cells to highlight them to different colors. I'll put that in the timeline so you guys can clearly see. But basically what you're going to want to do is, for the first condition, greater than, you just click on that, and then you have your style. You can do whatever, I don't really care, I use classic. You can change the color of the cell, I'll show you how to do that in a minute. But as we can see, our condition says if the total revenue is more than 10,000, so we'll have cell value greater than, because it's the more than inequality, and then we'll just type in 10,000, right? And then it says format with da-di-da-di-da. We want it to be green, so we can just use green fill with dark green text, or you can use a customized format. And you can change the different kind of category, like if it's a currency and stuff like that. You can change the font, the border, the color, could be any color from the Windows palette and stuff like that, but we'll just stick with the default one just because it's easiest. So once you click OK, you'll see the magic happen. Bang. You see all the ones. I mean, you can obviously then get rid of this from the top cell, because it's not really part of the condition, it's just a title, right? So you just go click condition formatting, clear rules, and then clear rules from selected cells. Just select this one, and then Bob's your uncle. So as you can see, everything that's more than 10,000 is now highlighted green. Now you're gonna wonder, okay, so what about the red ones? What about fulfilling condition 2? So you're gonna want to do the same thing again. Click on the B, so it highlights everything in the column, so everything has this conditioned rule, right? So you click again, highlight cells rule, less than, and then just do 10,000. And we don't have to change the cell here because it's on red already. So click OK, and then there you go. Everything now has a color and is now categorized into more than or less than, right? So let's say now we want to create a new condition. Let's say condition 3, right? Let's say highlight yellow if total revenue equals, I don't know, let's say, what, 15,000, right? So if we want to identify which state in MN and which company in MN creates a total revenue of 15,000, which is this condition here. We again click the entire column and then click condition, formatting, highlight cells rule, and then instead of using greater and less than, we just go down and click equal to, and then we'll type in our desired value, which is 15,000, and then make it yellow fill, and then click OK. Now obviously you're not going to see a bunch of numbers change because we might not even have a 15,000, right? So we can keep, dragging down, see if there's a 15,000, and we don't see one. So therefore, none of the firms in the state create our desired revenue. So we can just see that already. And also, if you're wondering why it's all red down here, that's because all of these values are considered a 0 inside Excel, so they're going to be highlighted red. So that's the only issue. And also, the reason why they're like that is because all the hidden filtered areas are down here, right? So that's that. And if we want to do something like change the value, let's say in this firm here, we don't know what firm, we just know the firm's in MN. Let's say it goes from 1,615 to, I don't know, 30,000. This will instantly change to green because the condition has changed from whatever number it was before to more than 10,000. So it becomes 30,000. And that's why we use the conditional formatting instead of just highlighting them using the fill color, because it won't change if your condition changes, if that makes sense. So hopefully this tutorial was clear on the two things I wanted to cover, and I'll see you next time.